once again.
Are you suffering from constipation? Let's talk about it. First, what is constipation? When will it be considered as an acute constipation or a chronic one?
Constipation is generally described as having fewer than 3 bowel movements in a week. Everyone moves food through their bowel at different speed. Some people might poop 3 times a day, while others regularly skip a day or 2. Constipation is a symptom and not a disease. Remember that. You may be constipated if you are having fewer bowel movement than usual, it takes a long time to pass stool, and if the stool is hard. Mounds of old rotting food and waste materials makes your colon bulge out so that it's almost impossible for your colon muscles to expel anything, and you get more and more stopped up. Your colon becomes a breeding ground for bacteria that soon kill off the other type of friendly bacteria that your intestine need to digest properly, creating excess gas and abdominal discomfort. Small blood vessels from your colon leak toxins out to your circulatory system, kidney, skin, lungs, which increases sweating and foul-smelling urine. We can say that constipation is chronic when the stool frequency is less than 3 times a week for several weeks or months.
I will show you a bird's eye view on the process of digestion, from the time that you eat your food until the time it will turn into feces.
This is the human digestive system. Food particles breaks up in the mouth. It passes through the esophagus and chums food in the stomach. Complete digestion takes place in the small intestine. Reabsorption of some water and ions takes place in the large intestine, and it is where feces are formed and stored. The rectum also stores and expels feces, while the anus is the opening for elimination of feces.
Now, what are the causes of constipation? What are the signs and symptoms of it?
Constipation in adults has many possible causes, and sometimes there are no obvious reasons. The most common causes may include not eating enough fiber, such as fruits and vegetables, and of course cereals, not drinking enough fluids, especially water, not moving enough and spending long periods sitting or lying in bed, being less active, and not exercising, often ignoring the urge to go to the toilet, that is one, and changing your diet or daily routine. Also, it is a side effect of a medication. Stress, anxiety, or depression can also contribute to constipation. It is also common during pregnancy and for 6 weeks after giving birth. For the signs and symptoms of chronic constipation, we have passing fewer than 3 stools a week, having lumpy or hard stools, straining to have bowel movements, feeling as there is a blockage in your rectum that prevents bowel movements, feeling that you can completely empty the stool from your rectum and needing help to empty your rectum, such as using your hands or press on your abdomen and using a finger to remove stools from your rectum. Constipation may be considered chronic if you've experienced 2 or more of these symptoms for the last 3 months.
Now that we already know what is a chronic and an acute constipation, how are we going to prevent this condition?
Prevention, prevention, prevention. Prevention is really better than a pound of cure. I believe that we all agree with that, isn't it? The following can help you avoid developing chronic constipation. Number 1, include plenty of high-fiber foods in your diet, including beans, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, cereals, and bran. Eat fewer food with low amount of fiber. And what are those? Processed foods, dairy products, and meat products. Another is stay as active as possible and try to get regular exercise. After that, drink plenty of water, of course, for hydration. Another is don't ignore the urge to pass stool. And if it is possible, try to create a regular schedule for bowel movements, especially after a meal. Try to manage stress. How can stress cause constipation? When you eat, the neurons that line your digestive tract signal your intestines to contract and digest your food. When you're under stress, this digestive process can slow down to a crawl. I already have a video on what are the most common causes of stress in teens and adults, and of course how to cope up with it. Please watch it too. It's in my playlist under medical vlogs.
Constipation usually isn't that serious, but the question is, when are you going to see your doctor? After doing all the preventions, like you do some exercise and you add plenty of fibers in your diet, and still you are constipated, you also had your laxatives, your home remedies, but still constipated, that's the time you have to see your doctor. Another one, if you observe the presence of the warning signs. What are these warning signs? Number 1, there is a blood in your stool. It can either be a fresh blood or a black tarry stool accompanied with a severe abdominal pain, and that is already an emergency. Once you visit your medical doctor, laboratory workups will be requested and physical examination will be done to make it sure that this chronic constipation is not secondary to something such as hemorrhoids. We have this anal fissure or the tore skin in your anus. We have fecal impaction or the stool that cannot be expelled. No? And then you have this rectal prolapse. Rectal prolapse are intestines that protrude from the anus. There are also a lot of medical conditions that we must have to rule out if you are suffering from this chronic constipation, like colon cancer, neurologic problems such as Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, spinal cord injury, and stroke, and many more. I hope you learned something today, because knowledge is power.